Hey, it's me again. Today, I want to talk about the difference between physical minimalism and minimalism. And the reason why that came up for me today is because I was talking to a friend, good friend in the Netherlands, and she was asking me, like, what has been the biggest difference that you've seen since moving back to America? And the funny thing is, like, I've had a little bit of a culture shock after spending 2 years in Europe, coming back to America, which is weird because I've lived there for over 15 years before that. So I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, there's definitely has been a culture shock. And the reason why we want to talk specifically about minimalism is because something that I've noticed is like a lot of people. Basically, she was asking me, like, are you going to come back to Europe? And I said, yes, I would like to spend a month in the summers in Europe every year. At least a month, maybe 2 months sometimes. Maybe I can get to 3 months. Like, basically, it would be awesome if I could spend all the summers in Europe with my kid. And the thing is, then she was like, well, aren't you worried about, like, there's like all these things about American jobs only allowing 14 days of vacation, and I was like, yeah, sure, like 14 days of paid vacation, but if I don't need that money, I can just take unpaid vacation. And then she was like, yeah, but then aren't I not going to fire you or something like that? And I thought about it and I was like, well, am I more afraid of losing my job, or am I more afraid of not living the life I want to live? And so that's where I think physical and soul minimalism came in place. Because a lot of people here in America, in Chicago, I'm American too, by the way. So, like, I don't know, like, I'm made of multiple things, but I'm definitely have adopted some Dutch things. I don't know. I'm not Dutch. But so a lot of people here live way beyond their means. And by way beyond their means, I mean they really get so comfortable that they have to depend on a paycheck to live month by month. And even imagining not having a paycheck could be really terrifying. I know, I was in the place. I had anxiety every month. I have anxiety every time I ask my boss. I have anxiety every time there's another round of layoffs. How am I going to afford my house? How am I going to afford this? How am I going to afford childcare? And it's such a not great state of mind to be at. And it was so toxic. It took me the better portion of my time in Europe to really get rid of that anxiety. It was really, really hard. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to basically eradicate myself and move into a different place and see things differently. And for people that can't do that, maybe I'm here to share a little bit of the story with you, so maybe you can choose differently for yourself. And my point here is, like, I'm not saying you should just like have no ambitions, because that's also not the point. I am an ambitious person. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm extremely ambitious. But at the same time, I also highly value freedom. And because of that, I choose to live a life in which consumerism is not as big part of my daily life. And it has been a struggle coming back here. Like, everything is about buying things or spending money on things and all this stuff, buying services and things like that. Yes, it has been a struggle not to rebuy back into it. But I'm doing my best to basically say that I love to work. I want to find work that I love. I want to get paid for that. But I don't need a job to live. And I understand I had student loans, I had credit card debt, I still have credit card debt. We still have all those things that we have healthcare bills. I get it. I'm not saying it's a blanket rule, but what I'm saying is to drive a little bit more towards the independence of I think some people call it like FU money, but it's not. It's an FU mentality. You know, like the FU mentality is, I don't need to slave 24/7 at my job because I don't need my job. Am I going to struggle if I don't have that job? Yes. But do I need that job? No. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of difference. Anyhow, I hope this makes sense. I hope it gave you something. And therefore, I'll see you back in a few days. Bye.